The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Why, hi there, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 12th day of December 2023, and this has been fun. This 1972 American League Championship series will go the distance. We are going to play Game 5, and if you're looking for a tell in this series between the Tigers and the Detroit Tigers and Oakland A's, look no further than the disparity in scoring. For the team that has won the first 4 games of the series, they have combined for 21 runs over the course of the 4 games. For those of you, for those who have lost the 4 games in this series, they have scored a combined total of 2. Yep, 2. They're both Oakland. They scored a run in Game 3 and a run in Game 4. Oakland will go with Kenny Holtzman, who threw a shutout in Game 2. Woody Fryman was not ready for this, and of course, Joe Coleman pitched Game 3. So, Tom Timmerman, who was 8-10 in real life, gets the call. The good news is, if you're a Tiger fan, he had a 2.89 ERA. The bad news is, he wasn't there for picture day. So, all the marbles in this one, with the lefty Holtzman on the mound, Mickey Stanley and Tony Taylor get their respective starts in the field for the Tigers. The A's go with Gene Tennis instead of Dave Duncan behind the plate against the inexperienced Timmerman. So if you're ready, if you're quite ready, so am I. There's a whole big old bag of marbles on the table. It's a winner-take-all game next, as Retro Sports Network presents the 1972 American League Championship Series. Today, from Detroit's Tiger Stadium, it will be the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland A's. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Time for some high noon baseball. There is no tomorrow. We are done with this no matter what. And if you ask me to name Tom Timmerman, I couldn't do it. He's 32 years old. He's obviously not a kid. Fastball at 85. He made 25 starts for the Tigers in 1972. 8-10 with a 2.89 ERA. He did, however, does not allow a lot of hits. In 149 and 2/3, he allowed 121 hits, 12 homers, 41 walks, and 88 strikeouts. He has a whip of 1.082 in the American League, hit 216 against him. He'll be fine, we think. Here's how the A's line up for this deciding game. Bert Campaneris is at short. He'll lead off. It's the second time this fall I've had Oakland in a deciding playoff game. Joe Rooney is in left. He'll bat second. Mike Epstein at first, goes third. Reggie Jackson cleans up in center. He's hitting .417 on the ALCS. Gene Tennis gets the call behind the plate. He'll bat fifth. Sal Bando will bat sixth. Dick Green, one of the 9,000 second basemen the A's have, will bat seventh. And Mangwal in right will go eighth, and Kenny Holtzman, who can throw 135 pitches, will bat ninth. And the crowd is looking for 6 strong from Timmerman. It's about what he's going to give you is 6. Willie Horton is a 2 and a 5 in left. Mickey Stanley is 7 and a 5 in center. Stanley will face the left-hander. Al Kaline a 6 and a 6 in right. Aurelio Rodriguez a 9 at third. Eddie Brinkman a 10 at short. Tony Taylor, as we platoon at second, is a 5 there. It was his big old hit in the 7th inning last night that helped force the issue in a Game 5. Norm Cash, who has struggled through the series and faces another lefty, is a 4 at first. Billy Freehan an 8 and a 6 behind the plate, and Timmerman is not a good fielder. He is a 3 range and an .885 fielding percentage. So with all that out of the way, 51 degrees here in Detroit. Bert Campaneris, 6 for 17, hitting .353 with an RBI and 2 stolen bases. And Game 5 begins with a fly ball, shallow right center field. Stanley coming in, 1 out. For Joe Rudi, 3 for 15, a double, a homer, and 3 RBI. Timmerman, not allowed to blow on his hand. Gets a sign from Freehand and delivers. Ground ball to Brinkman. Eddie throws to first. And there is 2 out. So a good start for Timmerman. Here's Mike Epstein. He's hitting .167, 2 for 12 on the series, but his hits have been productive. A double, a homer, and 2 RBI. And has also walked 3 times. Timmerman winds and fires. Struck him out. Can't do much better than that. No runs, no hits, and no errors. And after a half an inning in game number 5, no score. So Kenny Holtzman threw a 7-hit shutout in game 2. He's 27 years old, fastball at 85, and doesn't feature the fly ball nor the ground ball. In his shutout, he threw all of 96 pitches. Allowed 7 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. And 9 more innings like that, and the A's will have an all-expense-paid trip to Cincinnati when this is all said and done. Tony Taylor leads off for the Phillies at second base. Billy Freehand, again, not your prototypical number 2 hitter, but his on-base percentage is high enough that he will do that. He's also behind the plate. Al Kaline and right will go third. Norm Cash continues to clean up at first. Cash hitting .067 on the series. Willie Horton in left will bat 5th. Mickey Stanley in center, the other platooner, will bat 6th. Aurelio Rodriguez at third will bat 7th. Eddie Brinkman at short goes 8th. How you doing, Big Dave? And Timmerman, who can throw 105 pitches, through 19 in his half of the first. Defensively for Oakland, Joe Rudi an 8 and 8 left. Reggie Jackson a 4 and an 8 in center. Mangual is a 6 and a 5 in right. Sal Bando a 7 at third. Campaneris a 6 at short. Dick Green gets the call at second. He's a 6. Mike Epstein a 4 at first. Tennis behind the plate. He's a 5 and a 4. And Holtzman a 7 on the mound with a .982 fielding percentage. The International Brotherhood of Airport Urinals gave me a call before Game 5 and said they survived the night just fine. Billy Martin passed out elsewhere. But for Martin, this is his first Game 5 as a manager. Dick Williams in the A's dugout has been here before with the Red Sox in '67. Taylor, 3 for 12 on the series with double and 2 RBI. And he strikes out. Holtzman starts Game 5 with a fastball in there for strike 3. Taylor chased, 1 out. Here's Billy Freehand. He is 4 for 12, .333, with 3 walks, a home run, and 2 RBI. Struck him out. That's 2 for Holtzman. And 0-2 Bugs Bunny fastball in there at the knees, strike 3. So 2 out for Kaline, who has struggled in this series, 2 for 12. Although the outcome box is wearing a K-line jersey for this at-bat, he does have an RBI. And there's a ground ball left side, base hit. K-line had an RBI yesterday in game number 4. So here's Cash, who was 1 for 15. He's so overdue, the library called and said, we're going to waive the fine. He has scored a run and struck out 4 times. 2 out, bottom of the first. Pitch to Cash. Into shallow center. In comes Reggie. Out goes Campaneris. And Reggie will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Detroit gets a hit, leaves him on. After 1, no score. So it'll be Reggie, Tennis, and Bando to face Timmerman here in the second. Reggie, 5 for 12 on the series. a 417 average, a homer, and 4 RBI. If you're a Tigers fan, he has fanned 4 times. That's in the right. K-line coming in and will make the catch. 1 away. For tennis, who caught both of the games in Oakland, played first base, I think, in Game 3, sat yesterday, 2 for 10 on the series, with an RBI. So tennis is ready, so is Timmerman. Gene into left. In comes Willie Horton, makes the catch. 2 out. For Sal Bando, 167. No homers and an RBI. And if you're, again, wondering why the DH came to be, the A's are hitting 217 in this series. The Tigers, 135 going into yesterday's game. Bando into left field. That is well struck. Back goes Horton away back there. And it's 1-0 Oakland in Game 5. Sal Bando just missed hitting the facing of the second deck out there in left center. There wasn't anything Horton or Stanley could do. All they could do was turn and watch it go. So 1-0 Oakland here in the second inning. Two out for Dick Green, who has not played in this series. 286 and 3 RBI. We're not kidding. The A's used 7 second basemen in 72. Pitch to Green. Ground ball up the middle. Taylor behind the bag over to Cash, and that will retire the side. But Sal Bando with a home run to left center gives the A's their first hit. And after an inning and a half, it's Oakland 1, Detroit 0. So Kenny Holtzman, who had a touchdown to play with in Game 2, has a run to play with here in Game 5. Willie Horton, 4 for 14 on the series, 286 with 2 doubles and an RBI. Holtzman starts the second. Left center field. Back goes Reggie. 1 out. So Mickey Stanley will come up. Mickey played games 1 and 3 and went 0 for 7. But the righty center fielder against the lefty pitcher. Fly ball in the corner and left by the Tigers' pen. Joe Rudy makes the catch. 2 out. Aurelio Rodriguez is 1 for 12 on the series. He has a single and 2 strikeouts. And the way this has been, you just kind of have to wonder if we're going to pull like a mid-60s Dodgers and tell Holtzman, make that 1 run stand up. To short, Campaneris has it, throws to first for the out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. After 2, it's Oakland 1, Detroit 0. So Timmerman to face Mangual, Holtzman, and Campaneris here in the third. Holtzman at 22 pitches through 2, Timmerman at 33. Mangual at 188 and 3 RBI. Has 3 singles on the series. Timmerman starts the third, struck him out. He got him to stand there like a barn on the side of the road on an 0-2 fastball. 1 away for Holtzman, who's going to have to swing here. Holtzman, not a bad hitting pitcher. 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored in Game 2. And laces this one into left center field or left field for a base hit. So Holtzman has the second A's hit. Here's Campaneris, who is 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Timmerman. 39 pitches, 2 in the third, 2 hits, the home run to Bando, and 2 strikeouts. Rodriguez and Cash. Who needs a DH? Apparently the Dodgers do. Just saying. The $2 million man that you got out there in Chavez Ravine. Rodriguez and Cash will play for the bunt. And he rips this one into left field for a base hit. Horton will throw it back in. Holtzman on second with the jacket on. And Campaneris on first. And we can't let Timmerman rot much more. Here's Joe Rudy. He's 0 for 1. To second, might be 2. Taylor to Brinkman for 1. Eddie throws to Cash, and they're going to turn it. So 4-6-3, and that will take care of business in the third. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The A's leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the third here in Game 5. Oakland 1, Detroit nothing. So Brinkman, Timmerman, who's going to be on a short leash, and Tony Taylor do up here in the third. Ed is 0 for 12 with a strikeout. Now, knowing the age group of people who watch my stuff, I'm going to ask this question. Do you prefer, for the League Championship Series, the best of 5 that it was through 1984, or the best of 7 starting in 1985? Which one do you like better? Pitch to Brinkman is a ground ball to Green. Dick has it, throws to Epstein for the out. Dave Gardner, our resident OnlyFans subscriber. There's a girl taking a shower doing jumping jacks on another channel. It's a tough choice today. Well, after your 4 minutes of Klingon ships, come back on over. Here's Timmerman. 1/3. Is it an OPEG shower? How much can be seen? Timmerman 6 for 44 on the series, or on the season, with an RBI and 3 runs scored. Holtzman deals, and Timmerman hits a ground ball to Green. At least he made contact over to Epstein for the out, 2 away. So Holtzman doing what he has to do, 2 2/3, 31 pitches, a hit and 2 strikeouts. Tony Taylor struck out his first time up. 1-0 Oakland on the Sal Bando homer in the second. Taylor hits a ground ball right side for a base hit. And so that'll bring up Freehan, who struck out his first time up. 2 out here, bottom of the third. We're going to see if they throw to first. Holtzman goes to the plate. Freehan ground ball to Green. Snap throw to first. Epstein's there, and the Tigers are done in the third. No runs. The hit. They have left on 2, which is more than I can say for the girl taking a shower on Twitch. After 3, it's the A's 1, the Tigers nothing. So here's Mike Epstein, Reggie Jackson, and Gene Tennis to face Timmerman. Tom might be headed for a shower at some point soon. Considering only one team, John says, has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in the history of Major League Baseball, I prefer the 5 games. It just seems to make every game more important. You can't afford to have a throwaway game. And that's true. There's nothing wrong with that logic at all. In a best of 7, the first 2 games are kind of the appetizers, and then you get to the meat of the series when it kind of becomes a best of 5 for Game 3. However, in this format here, they alternated. It wasn't by best record, and of course, Oakland was a better team in the regular season by 7.5 games. But this clincher, for whoever it is in Detroit. And Bernie's taking notes, saying that this game should have been at Fenway. Mike Epstein struck out his first time up. Into right, K-line coming in, shallow right field, 1 out. So here's Reggie, he's 0 for 1. I'm kind of betwixt and between on that, to be honest, John. I like the drama that comes with a 7-game series. Toronto Blue Jay fans would prefer that they had remained a best of 5. Here's Reggie, he's 0 for 1. But yes, the fact that everything is so crucial, it just kind of goes against baseball. Mr. Gardner, when it comes to hockey, what is your preference for a series? Obviously, the finals would be best of 7, and the conference championships best of 7, but at what point would you rather see, Dave, a best of 5? Pitch to Reggie. There's a fly ball, left center field. Stanley moving over. Makes the catch. 2 out for Gene Tennis, who's 0 for 1. And that's a base hit into right center field. That's going to drop in front of K-Line. So 2 out for Bando, who had homered in the second. Early rounds of 3 or 5 are great. 7-game series are a bit much. Yep, I agree with that. I liked it when the basketball was best of 5 for the first round, too. Scotty would go with 5 to get it done and move on to the World Series. John says never had a problem with the rotation format because the team with the better record still gets the first 2 at home, unlike the NFL when they had the fixed bracket for that couple of years with the home field rotating. That made no sense. Yep. Hi, Bernie. The Dolphins going on the road to play when they were 14-0 to play Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship in this particular season. So Tennis on first, Bando at the plate. Sal hits a ground ball to Brinkman. Eddie's going to have a play at second to get Tennis there, and that will retire the side. A's get a hit, leave a runner on after 3.5, 1-0 Oakland. So, Bernie, we're asking, what do you prefer, the best of 5 for the LCS or the best of 7? Here's how we got here. Catfish Hunter, a 3-hit shutout in Game 1, 7-0 A's. Ken Holtzman, who's starting this one, 7-0 shutout, Game 2 to the A's. We come to, Bernie likes the best of 7, okay. We go to Detroit for Game 3, and they slip past Oakland 2-1. Behind Joe Coleman, and then yesterday Mickey Lolich and Tony Taylor, a 5-1 win, and that's how we got a best of a Game 5 here. And as you can see, offense, we don't need no stinking offense. The A's are hitting 219 on the series coming in, and the Tigers are hitting 147. The A's have a ERA of 1.32, and the Tigers 3.18. So if you like pitching, you came to the right spot. Here's K-Line. He's singled his first time up. There's a slow ground ball to Green. Dick has it over to first. 1 out. And I'm not surprised that Bernie said best of 7 because that was the one time it happened where a team came from 3 down to win the 2004 American League Championship Series. Norm Cash is 0 for 1. Slow chopper to Epstein. Has to underhand it to Holtzman, and Cash doesn't have much speed. He's out, 2 away. Now, because we play football here, as well as baseball, they had to mow the lawn a bit because the Lions didn't like playing in that thick jungle. Here's Willie Horton, who's 0 for 1. Holtzman's pitch. And there's a hard ground ball to Campaneris over to first. And after 4, that will retire the side. So Holtzman has held the Tigers to 2 hits, and he hasn't allowed a run in 13 innings. We go to the 5th, 1-0 A's. So Green, Mangual, and Holtzman to face Timmerman. And again, John wanted 6 solid. He's giving you 4 solid. Green's 0 for 1. Line drive to Taylor, 1 out. So here's Mangual. Here's one of the 2 strikeouts from Timmerman. Got him. Oh, 1-2 curveball, swung on and missed. 2 out. So Timmerman is going to do just that. He's keeping the Tigers in the ball game. Here's Holtzman. He singled his first time up. And the crowd serenaded us, and who needs the DH? Pitch to Holtzman. Kenny strikes out, and Timmerman's through 5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home in game number 5, it's the A's 1, the Tigers nothing. Well, you ready for the long-winded recap here for this game? 1-0 Oakland on a Sal Bando homer to deep left center in the second. That's it. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Oakland. The Tigers have 2 hits. Scotty says in other sports, everybody plays every game, so even the best of 3 seems okay. In baseball, you want to give the star pitchers a chance to have more influence, and they certainly did in Game 4 of the series. Lolich and Hunter. John says, for instance, in the 84 NLCS, the Cubs demolished the Padres in Games 1 and 2, but lose 3 straight in San Diego. The Cubs had a better record, but they got the first 2 at home. All they had to do was win 1 stinking game in San Diego. Yes. Don Drysdale called that NLCS for ABC, and his call of Garvey's walk-off in Game 4 is underrated. Anyway, pitching-wise, Kenny Holtzman, a 2-hitter through 4, and he has struck out 2. Timmerman, 4-hitter through 5, and the home run to Bando. Mickey Stanley is 0 for 1. The next Game 5 in this building would have, speaking of the Padres, was the clincher in 84, when Goose Gossage wanted to pitch to Kirk Gibson. Pitch to Stanley. Ground ball to short. Campaneris is there over to first for the out, 1 away. Here's Rodriguez, 0 for 1. To balance that, though, in baseball, is that it is a marathon of a sport to begin with. You play 162 games. And to have your season determined in a 5-game mini sprint, I see both sides of that argument. Pitch to Rodriguez, who's 0 for 1. Ground ball to first. Epstein to the bag himself. 2 out. Brings up Eddie Brinkman, who's 0 for 1. Holtzman's pitch. Line drive to Green, and that'll do it. So Holtzman through 5. We go to the 6th in game number 5. It's the A's 1, the Tigers nothing. So Timmerman, again, 6 solid is what they were looking for. He's going to possibly give him that. 18 batters deep, 5 innings, 75 pitches, 4 hits, a home run, and 4 strikeouts. Campaneris is 1 for 2. Popped up, right side, Cash, 1 out. Speaking of 84, as Joe Rudy is 0 for 2 and is grounded into a double play. It was the Cubs, it was the American League or National League's year to host. 1, 2, 6, and 7. As NBC had the rights to that World Series. And so what they would have done if the Cubs had won that 1 stinking game in San Diego was flop the rotation, because the World Series would have started midweek. So the Tigers would have hosted games 1 and 2, and the Cubs would have hosted 3, 4, and 5 Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday. I'm not sure how they would have got it in, but Sunday after the early football game, with the Tigers having 6 and 7 at night in Detroit. Didn't work out that way, and the Tigers ended up hosting the 2-day games anyway, but that's what they would have done. And Major League Baseball threatened the Cubs, if this happens again, you're playing your games in St. Louis. And by 1988, the Cubs had lights at Wrigley Field. Pitch to Rudy. Ground ball to third. Rodriguez straddles the line. Fair ball over to Cash for the out, 1 away. So here's Epstein. Mike is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. The other option, they said if he weren't going to put in lights and didn't want to play in St. Louis, we would have done something worse. You'd have played your games at Comiskey. Imagine the Cubs playing on the south side as the home team. Here's Epstein. He has struck out once. He's 0 for 2. Chopper down to short. Brinkman deep in the hole. Over to Cash for the out. Now, Timmerman is supposed to lead off the 6th. But he has settled right in. No, he's batting right now. Anyway, I'm not paying attention. No runs, no hits, no errors. You got to leave him in after 5.5. 1-0 A's. So Timmerman will get to bat here. He has given the Tigers indeed 6 solid innings, except for the Bando at bat. Everything else has stayed in the yard. To short. Campaneris is going to have to hurry on this. And they got him. So Timmerman is retired, 1 out. Holtzman, 18 batters deep, just 63 pitches. 5 1/3, 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Tony Taylor has singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. In the right, Mangual has it for the out. 2 away for Freehan, who struck out. He's 0 for 2. So Holtzman cruising to be the series MVP at this point. Laces this one into left center field for a base hit. So Freehan's got the single. Only the 3rd Tiger hit. Here's Kaline. Al is 1 for 2. Holtzman's pitch. Fly ball, left field. Rudy moves in a shade, makes the catch, and that'll do it. So no runs, a hit. The Tigers have left on 3, and after 6, it's Oakland 1, Detroit nothing. So Timmerman probably in his last inning to face Jackson, Tennyson, Bando. Reggie is 0 for 2 here in Game 5. Timmerman starts the 7th with a walk. The 3-1 fastball missed upstairs. Here's Tennis. He's 1 for 2. Reggie not really a threat to steal. Gene has himself a single today. To Timmerman, might be 2. Taylor for 1 to throw to first, and they got him. So Timmerman with a heads-up play to start a 1-4-3 double play. 2 out for Bando. His home run in the 2nd has been the lone run in the game. Up the middle, past Taylor for a hit. So that's only the 5th hit. Here's Dick Green. He is 0 for 2. Timmerman starting to fidget a bit on the mound, rubbing up that baseball. He's now allowed to blow on his hands. It's 42 degrees here in Detroit, and the wind blowing in from left at 4. Freehan tries to calm down his pitcher. Timmerman deals, and Green rips this one in the right for a base hit, and that'll be the end of Tom's night. So 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Mangual, and they're going to go with, well, they can't go with LeGros. They're going to go with Seelbach here. They have no LeGros, and they have no Hiller, despite the fact that LeGros only threw 3 pitches last night. So Chuck Seelbach, who was the Tigers' ace fireman in 1972, gets the call. Seelbach pitched in Game 2, the 7-0 loss. Went 2 1/3, 45 pitches, 3 hits. A run it was earned and a strikeout. He's 24, throws the fastball at 91 and a ground ball pitcher. Mangual is 0 for 2. Holtzman, of course, will bat. Tigers have Cash, Horton, and Stanley due up in the bottom of the 7th. 1st and 2nd, ground ball left side. Horton's going to get it. Bando will round 3rd. Horton has an average arm. And they're going to try for it anyway. You kind of have to, despite the no chance. The run will score, and it's 2-0 Oakland. So Seelbach had to be airtight, and he wasn't. Holtzman is singled and struck out. First and second, Green obviously will score on a single. And Mangual is on first. Chuck deals. Struck him out. Too little, too late. Stretch time, 2-0 A's. That was a big insurance run, Andrew, for sure. Again, coming into the first... Yeah, the music is back. I double-checked. I don't know why it was unchecked. It was checked, but it didn't play. So, again, we said in the open, the teams that have won the first 4 games of this series have scored 21 runs. And the teams that have lost the first 4 games have scored a combined number of 2. It's 2-0 Oakland here in the bottom of the 7th. They are 9 outs from Cincinnati. Norm Cash is 0 for 2. He is due. He rips this one into right center. He won't go for 2. Mangual got it before it could roll past him. But that's just the 4th hit for Detroit. Willie Horton is 0 for 2. You don't want to know what Dave is stretching. That's true. His elbows are touching as he showers with a pickle Rick. Pitch to Horton. There's a base hit past Green. And the Tigers have responded here in the 7th. So first and second, nobody out for Mickey Stanley, who is 0 for 2 today and 0 for 9. But the platoon says you got to use him. So he is the go-ahead run at the plate. Cash on second, Horton on first. And Holtzman, who has thrown 15 scoreless innings, now finds himself in a jam here in the 7th. And Mickey Lolich down in the Tiger pen says Strawberry Fields forever. That's his favorite jam. Pitch to Stanley. Popped up. Right center. Reggie coming in. 1 out. Cash to the bag and will bluff. Not on a 50-50 chance. Here's Rodriguez. Aurelio is 0 for 2. Again, their best hitters on the bench are left-handed. McAuliffe and Northrup. But you're not going to put him in against the lefty Holtzman. Base hit left side. Joe Rudy will pick it up. Cash goes on to third. And now with 1 out, the Tigers have the bases loaded. And now what do? Brinkman is 0 for 14. Who can hit a lefty? You have some other shortstops. And they're going to go with Gates Brown. You got to do it. Wow. Seelbach was a rookie in 72. Shoulder injury in 73 and only threw 7 more innings. So they'll go reverse split. You gotta. Gates Brown is 0 for 1 on the series. 230, 10 homers, and 31 RBI here on the real year. Cash at third. Horton the tying run at second. And Rodriguez the go-ahead run at first. And you're going to have to pinch hit for Seelbach. But the Tigers have a lot of arms ready. But right now, it's lefty versus lefty. Holtzman versus Brown. From the stretch. Popped up. Campaneris and Jackson. It'll be Reggie makes the catch. Cash tags. Reggie has a great arm, but that run is not as important, especially with the pitcher spot up. It's 2-1. So the Tigers have taken that insurance run was big in the 7th. So just like Catfish Hunter yesterday, Kenny Holtzman goes 15 2/3 before allowing a run. Seelbach will be pinch hit for. And here comes Hondo. So Seelbach would only throw 7 innings before getting hurt in 73, and then there's 7 more in 74. And his career was over at 26. Hondo is 0 for 1. We got Scotty's attention for this. 242, a home run, and 7 RBI. Billy Martin overworking a pitcher? What? Pshaw. The 81 A's would like a word with you. So here we go. It's 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. And Hondo trying to tie this up. He can't hit a home run, but just don't strike out. Holtzman takes a deep breath and deals. Base hit right center field. Mangual's going to grab it. Howard's digging for 2. Here comes Rodriguez, and the Tigers take the lead. So for the second time in 2 days, the Tigers explode in the 7th for 3 runs. We don't normally show doubles, but Hondo did it. The Capital Punisher works in Detroit. And Rodriguez I think just ran through a stop sign. So it's 3-2 Tigers. And here's yesterday's hero, Tony Taylor. Has singled today and struck out. He's 1 for 3. Wow, what a turn of events here in Detroit. Pitch to Taylor. Popped up left side. And now the Tigers are 6 outs away from Cincinnati and setting up the Sparky Anderson Bowl. 3 runs, 4 hits. They leave a runner on. We go to the 8th. 3-2 Detroit. So Dick McAuliffe will bat in the 9 hole. He goes into short as a 3. And Chris Zachary, who threw 38 1/3 innings on the real year, will double switch with Gates Brown and try to get the 6 outs. Thank you, Amish Elvis. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. So Zachary pitched 2/3 of an inning in game 1. 7 pitches and a strikeout. He's 28. Fastball at 89 and a ground ball pitcher. The NBC cameras quickly cut away for Billy Martin using an air sickness bag while drinking a Stroh's. Campaneris is 1 for 3. And Rodriguez and Cash play for the bunt. So McAuliffe now at short. It's a defensive hit from Brinkman, but Eddie won't mind if he's going to the series. Pitch to Campy. Swings and a ground ball to Tony Taylor. Over to Cash. Campy's running, and he is out on a bang-banger. Oh, that was close. So here's Joe Rudy, who is 0 for 3, and grounded into a double play. That is a line drive over Taylor's glove, and the A's have the tying run on with 1 out for Mike Epstein, who can hit here. Not a situation where Zachary is used to. Seelbach, LeGros, and Hiller are your normal firemen, but they're considered tired by the game. So Zachary, the freshest arm. Walked him. And now the tying run is on second. Is Fred Sherman not available? He shared closing duties with Seelbach. Alan Lewis will pinch run for Epstein. Yeah, I could use him. An earn run average of 364, a whip of 1532. It is a lefty. Yeah, I guess that's the move with Reggie at the plate. Your next object would be Slayback, who hasn't pitched in this series. So let's go with the lefty. So Zachary got one out. And in a one-run game, they're going to go with Sherman. Fred has not pitched in this series. He did start 3 times, 57 appearances, 7-3, 12 saves, but that 3.64 for ERA. And John is already apologizing. Don't blame me. I didn't do it. Freddie's 28, fastball at 92, and a standard pitcher. And if you got the lefty to face the lefty, that is the right call to make. 94 innings for Fred, 91 hits, 5 homers. However, he has walked 53 and struck out 53. Lewis has great speed, by the way, on first. 1 out. And you got Reggie Jackson at the plate. Mr. October is 0 for 2 today with a walk. Sherman allowed to blow on his hands. 40 degrees here at Tiger Stadium. And he walks them loaded. So now a single would give Oakland the lead. So here's Gene Tennis, 1 for 3. Has singled and grounded into a double play. And oh man, would they love a double play right about now. Struck him out. A full count fastball and Tennis chased. 2 out. For Sal Bando, it was his home run in the second that made it a 1-0 game for Oakland. You could cut the tension here with a jackhammer. So Sherman, he has walked a man, and then he got the big out by striking out Tennis. So Rudy on third, Lewis on second. Again, he's going to score on a single. And Reggie on first. Bando has singled and homered. He is 2 for 3. Sherman is ready. Kicks and fires. Struck him out. Oh, baby. He got Bando to chase one out of the zone. And somehow, some way, the Tigers escape unscathed. No runs. 1 hit. And the A's in the 8th leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Detroit 3, Oakland 2. Wow. I think it's safe to say, guys, that this series has been all that in a bag of chips. Here's Billy Freehand. He's 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Laces this one to center. Reggie can't get there. That's a base hit for Freehand. So here's K-Line, who was 1 for 3. He has singled today. The A's have not used either Darryl Knowles or Raleigh Fingers in this series. And if you remember correctly, and I'm sure you do, Darryl Knowles pitched in every game of the 72 series, all 7. K-Line has a single. Al is 1 for 3. long drive, left center. Goodbye. Home run out K-line. And the Tigers go up by the score of 5-1. And Martha Reeves and the Vandellas in center field are literally dancing in the streets here in Motown. And it's K-line who might have sent him there. My goodness gracious. Buffy St. Marie. So the Tigers now have some breathing room here in the going into the ninth. As out K-line with a huge home run. Holtzman will get cash. And then we're going to go to the pen. But lefty versus lefty. Cash 1 for 3 in Game 5 with an RBI or the run scored and a single. Slow chopper to Campaneris. Over to Hegan, who is now at first. He's a 7, 1 out. And so with righty, righty, righty. What a rotation. I mean, Blue Moon Odom isn't going to pitch in this series. So one Raleigh Fingers will come in. Because Oakland only needed to use 3 starters. And the fact that Holtzman and Hunter just shut them down in Oakland. They never went to the pen. Raleigh, all in relief, 65 games. John, you get credit. You get all the credit in the world for that now. 26 years old is Raleigh. Fastball at 95 and a ground ball pitcher. He went 11-9 for Oakland with 21 saves and a 2.51 ERA in 111 and a third innings. Raleigh allowed 85 hits, 8 home runs. He walked 32 and struck out 113. Sherman is now due up 4th. Willie Horton 1 for 3. He has singled and scored in this ball game. And Al K-line in the Tiger dugout is all smiles. Fingers starts his series. Ball 4. He walks Horton. The 3-1 curve was inside. So Mickey Stanley will get pinch hit for. Jim Northrup will come in. Northrup 1 for 7, but that one hit was a home run. And he will play center field in the 9th. Chopper down to Fingers, first base side of the rubber, throws it over to Mike Egan for the out. So 2 out for Rodriguez, who's going to hit here 1 for 3 with a run scored. You guys got awful quiet in a hurry. 5-2 Tigers here in the 8th, thanks to the 2-run homer by Al K-line. Fingers will walk Rodriguez, and now what do you do? You're not going to use Peronowski. Do you pinch hit and go with Necro? It is righty, 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 or Slayback. Bill Slayback threw 81 2/3. It would not be a bad move. Andrew had a Mike Egan first baseman's mitt as a kid. You still got it. So I guess you pinch hit here and you go with Slayback to finish this, right? Duke Sims hits righties well. and you got a whole bunch of catchers. So that's what we're going to do, and that will be it for fingers. They're going to go with Diego Segui. So the wheels are turning here after fingers retired one batter and walked two. Segui is a righty, so you're not switching the matchup here. He went 22 2/3, started 3 games, pitched 7, 35 years old, fastball at 84, and a ground ball pitcher. He went 0-1 for Oakland in 72, 3.57 ERA, 22 2/3, 25 hits. We lost the outcome box here. 2 homers, 7 walks, and 11 strikeouts. There we go. The immortal Diego Segui, a Seattle Pilot and a Seattle Mariner. And right now, on the hook, Horton on second, Rodriguez on first. Sims, look at the chances here of reaching base. McAuliffe on deck. And, of course, the father of David Segui, a major leaguer in his own right. So here we go, 5-2 Tigers trying to put this one out of reach. Pitch to Sims. Fly ball, center field. Reggie coming way in, makes the catch, and that'll do it. But Al Kaline's 2-run homer has given the Tigers a 5-2 lead. They're 3 outs from Cincinnati. Northrop, a 3 and a 5 in center. Slaybeck went 5 and 6 for Detroit with a 3.20 ERA. 23 games, 13 starts. Went the distance 3 times. He's 24. He must have gotten hurt too because they had a whole bunch of young arms. Fastball at 91 and a ground ball pitcher. 81 2/3 innings, 74 hits, 4 home runs allowed. He's walked 25 and struck out 65. Green Mangual in the pitcher spot here in the 9th for Oakland. They need 3 to tie and 4 to go ahead. And so everyone has every digit crossed that they possibly can. Slayback is a 7 on the mound with a .909 fielding percentage. And Tim Cullen is going to... Really? Okay. So Tim Cullen, who is 2 for 8 on the series, he has singled, doubled, and scored. And so once again, on this cold night in Detroit, everybody's standing up. Slayback deals. Ground ball to the mound. Slayback first base side. Over to Cash, run away. Mr. Waterfield, would you be interested in a World Series between the Reds and the Tigers? Mangual is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out twice. He has driven in a run, and he's driven in 4 on the series. And Bill Voss is going to pinch hit. Voss, 227, 5 homers, or 5 RBI and a home run. Slayback, 1 out. Winds and deals. Voss rips this one into left center. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Horton made a bad play, and the A's have a 1-out double. So who's going to pinch hit for Segui? Yeah, I'm wasn't planning on doing it. But since we're going to get the alternate one, this Tiger team is fun. It's Ted Kubiak. who is 0 for 4 on this series and cannot bunt. 5-2 Tigers. 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Oakland. They've left on 7. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and the Tigers have left on 6. Slayback. Freehand puts down the fingers. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. He chased an 0-2 fastball. And Oakland is down to last chance saloon time. It's Bert Campaneris who is 1 for 4. And this place, pardon the pun, is about ready to roar. Voss off a second. Slayback looks in for the sign. And no, we're not going to pinch hit. You're not pinch hitting for Bert Campaneris. Here we go. Ground ball to Cash. Norm bobbles it, takes it to the bag, and the Tigers are the champions of 1972. They have won the pennant. They're going to the World Series. In 2 hours and 48 minutes of fake baseball. An outstanding series. And how can you not give the MVP to Al Kaline? It was his big home run in the 8th inning that sealed the deal to send the Tigers to the World Series. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Tigers, strand 6. Oakland, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and they leave on 8. I don't know. Scotty's next up in the queue, but if he'll let me slide this one by, we'll do the Tigers, the Dodgers and the Giants at some point. So Tom Timmerman, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. That came, the run in the second was the homer by Bando. Oakland will remember this a long time. So Seelbach, Zachary, Sherman, who pretty much tried to cough up the hairball and didn't, and Slayback with the unlikely save. Poor Kenny Holtzman, 15 2/3 of scoreless baseball, and then the lights went out. So again, what an effort. What a series. The Tigers move on. They beat the A's by the score of 5-2 and win the series by the score of 3-2. And so you will see the 72 alternate World Series, the Detroit Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds, the Sparky Anderson Bowl. We'll start that Thursday. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you Thursday.